Uh, Gift cards and gifting have a lot of connections to uh, society and wealth and finance, and I want to touch upon them in this uh, video. So, first, I want to talk about gifting. And in gifting, the practice of giving gifts has the potential for being a wealth destroying activity. Hear me out on this. If I buy something for myself, I know what I want. I know exactly like how much I need in a certain product. I know how big it has to be, what my tastes are. You'd have to know me really, really, really well to know me as well as I know myself and pick out something that I would want and to pick it out as well as I would pick it out. Unfortunately, a lot of the people, even my family or among my friends, don't get this right. So I'll get gifts, and sometimes I give gifts, unfortunately, physical gifts, presents that are unwanted or that miss the exact specification. So I'll get the size wrong, I'll get the color wrong, I'll get the exact model wrong. Maybe they already have it. So this is a huge error. And that results, the misgiving, to use a pun, is actually can account for something like 10 or 15% of the actual budget people put for gifts and buying presents. Destroy that 10 or 15%. It can destroy wealth. So if we were perfect in how we were able to give gifts, and you were to give me gifts that I would actually want for myself and would have bought anyway, and I was to give you gifts that you would have bought anyway, it would be a zero-sum game. Like, if there's nothing really different between me buying something for myself or you buying it for me, if we just sit there and exchange value like that, it's a zero-sum game. Nobody wins. And the process itself doesn't have any wealth-creating value. Worse yet, because of the way we give gifts, there's wrapping, there's like gift bags that you put around the gifts, or you put them in a box, you buy cards, which can be expensive, and if you don't do the gifts correctly, you have a return process that you have to go through, and you spend time on that. So these customs actually are transaction costs. So that means that not only is it a zero-sum game, but it's actually a little bit worse than that, even if you don't consider mistakes in the gift-giving process, which again, in and of themselves, are something like 10 or 15% of the spending on gifts, just flush down the toilet because you get the gifts wrong. So the idea is that you can do a better job gifting by giving cash or giving some sort of proxy for cash that allows other people to select gifts for themselves or figure out what they want for themselves. So if you know someone who shops a lot at Target, instead of buying them something from Target and guessing and hoping that you get it right, you could give them a Target gift card. That would allow them freedom to get what they want, as opposed to you trying to plan out what they want for themselves and trying to guess that. Unfortunately, cash gifts are considered taboo by many, especially like between peers or when you're gifting to a superior. That's kind of weird to give a cash gift. If you're giving a child a small cash gift, that's more socially acceptable often. Also, not participating in gift giving is taboo, and it's actually kind of not good for you. It's actually a lot of fun to give people presents. I like the process, but unfortunately, I don't like the idea of me taking X amount of dollars and turning them into less through the gift giving process. It bothers me. What's more is that usually when people give each other gifts, they aren't giving each other gifts based on like whether or not they can get a deal. So they're not basing the gift giving on whether or not they are the best buyer for that. So like whether or not they have a special gift discount or a special way of purchasing something where they could purchase it in bulk at a lower price. That's usually not what's happening. People are just buying in place of someone else with no particular advantage. So instead, I suggest that you use gift cards as gifts, especially discount gift cards as gifts. And the reason why I suggest this is basically it solves a lot of the problems I just mentioned. First of all, by giving someone purchasing power instead of a specific gift, you're allowing the recipient to pick their own gift. They can select their own specifications for what they want, so you don't get the size. They're not going to get the size wrong for themselves. They're going to know what their particular preferences are, and you won't have to guess. Also, they're not going to buy the same gift they already own. You're not going to have that problem either. The recipient can also wait to use the card. So instead of having to use the card or like use a gift that was purchased to them on a particular date, they can wait and then purchase something later. This is actually a big deal. The ability to wait is a huge option that people can use to buy technology that might go down in price in the future, or they might be able to buy things that are companion products to another product they haven't decided on yet. It doesn't make sense for you to buy a non-compatible piece of software for a Macintosh computer if somebody else buys a Windows machine later on. It's kind of a waste of money. So allowing people to wait allows them to exploit new information later on. There's also a potential for cost savings because you can purchase many gift cards at a discount. So suddenly this idea of purchasing something at a discount and exploiting these tactics that you know about make you a preferential buyer of the gift card. So if you actually have access to a discount, you may actually be able to enable somebody else to purchase it for less of an overall cost than if they were the one buying the gift card. So that's a big deal too. We went from a scenario where we were talking about less than zero-sum games, where we had misspecification, misselection of gifts, destroying wealth, and we also had transaction costs, and we had buyer irrelevance, and now we're talking about a buyer, you using your knowledge of gift card discounts to actually make it so that you and the recipient save money overall. That's a big deal. We flipped the script. I want to issue some caution though. Second-hand gift cards are not good gifts, so I don't recommend that you go to an online exchange where you buy a gift card from another consumer, because oftentimes the people that you give gift cards to won't spend them soon. They'll wait to spend them over a very long period of time, and it may come to pass that the person who you bought the gift card from ends up using it, ends up stealing from you essentially, or from your recipient of the gift card. So rather than do that, I suggest restricting your gift giving to discounted gift cards that come directly from a corporation, not from a consumer. And the only exception I would make for that is for someone who I know very well, who understands the whole discount gift card thing. Those people, I'm happy to do it, and they know I'm weird about this, and they know that they need to spend it soon. But for most people, I wouldn't do it that way. I would only go either directly from the corporation, or I wouldn't use a strategy for them.